the leaders of our nation will continue its moral bankruptcy unopposed. We have to find the courage to lead ourselves, to protest against the slaughter of our innocents. Silence is the most powerful scream. The children who are killed through the operation known as abortion cannot scream, or even in torment as they are killed. We must do their speaking for them. We must be the leaders in this fight against the crimson tide of abortion.
Contestant number 4, the qualities of an American leader. The qualities of an American leader. Speaker number 4.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We have all heard these words, spoken by John F. Kennedy in his inaugural address. These words embody the essence of American patriotism, loyalty, and leadership. Today, our sight is often obscured by great men and women whose singular deeds have made them legendary. George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, and Ronald Reagan. These and others, CEOs, presidents, news hosts, politicians, and countless others dominate our view of what it means to be an American leader. Too often we forget the man next door, Sergeant John across the way, or Mr. Brown and his group who sit at the bar Friday evening arguing over the failing economy or the latest increase of their income tax. And after a few drinks, damning the hell out of the guys over in Washington or Olympia. While we pay respect to our great men, we should never forget who they were and what made them the icons of the American leader. What our Mr. Brown, Sergeant John, Washington, and other great leaders strove for is simple and can be summed up in their words. Judge Chamberlain interviewed Captain Preston, a Revolutionary War veteran, to find what animated the hearts of those who threw off the British yoke. Did you take up arms against oppression? A negative answer. Was it the Stamp Act? Preston replied he had never seen one of those stamps. Was it the tea tax? Again, a negative response. Why then did you fight? To this, the aged veteran replied, "Young man, what we meant in going for those redcoats was this. We had always governed ourselves, and we always meant to. They didn't mean we should." The cause for which these great men and women fought was the right to be free, to govern themselves. What makes these great men and women who organized the people, inspired them to a just cause, and kindled the flame of liberty, true examples of the American leader, was the will to do what was right, in spite of all that arose to oppose them. Today, we have heard of many derelictions of leadership, incompetence, and even what it might at best be called folly or negligence, and at worst, treasonous. For example, the attempted Christmas bombing and failure of U.S. security, the upcoming trial of terrorists caught in the very web of their own schemes, reckless spending of public money, which is spinning us ever closer to financial disaster, and the propagation of the idea that the stability of socialism is preferable to the uncertainty of entrepreneurship or the spirit our forefathers exhibited in standing against oppression. Now you tell me whether this smacks of treason, or whether it is simply the product of foolish or unrealistic minds. If the latter, which I personally find hard to believe, why are these men still in office? If the former, I shudder to think. Are the qualities our leaders have shown the virtues of our great American leaders? What makes a good American leader? To find such an example, one need look no further than the father of this country, George Washington. From the beginning, he exhibited the virtues of a great man, persevering on to meet with Indian tribes, leading his men into battle regardless of his own life, speaking against injustice and continuing to carry on through the times that will try men's souls, as revolutionary writer Thomas Paine wrote. Later, having won the Revolutionary War, Washington stayed true to his principles and, like Cincinnatus, a general of ancient Rome who saved his country and was offered the crown, laid aside his power for what he believed was right. The great men and women who built this country did not invest their time, talents, fortunes, and lives that this great experiment might fail. They did not entrust us with this pearl of great price that we might pawn it for whatever pitiful temporary gain we might make. Mother Teresa, the woman who truly loved all, stated, "Do not wait for leaders. You be a leader." Emulate the examples of the great American leaders. Let your representatives know that you wish to remain in control of your own decisions. Get involved, learning and educating others of that which is sweetest, liberty and the inalienable rights of man. And most importantly, let those who would trample America into the dust know this, that we, the people of the United States of America, still watch those ramparts, and that star-spangled banner still waves over a free people.
Speaker number 5, the attributes of a leader. The attributes of a leader. Speaker number 5.
When I was first given this project of preparing and delivering a speech on the topic of leadership, I had no idea what I was going to do. So I decided, hey, I've got plenty of time. I can deal with that later. Well, a few weeks that went by, and I was like, hey, I've got a speech due within the next 24 hours, or a certain someone would be sure to have in my head. Well, I decided to, hey, so I still got time, right? So I decided, hey, I'll play some games, and I eat some dinner, and then I'll work on my speech. So you gotta do first things first, right? Well, after I did those, and I was like staring at my blank sheet of paper, I did that for a while, and I was like, inspiration struck, kind of. And I was like, I'm going to describe leadership as it pertains to me right now. Leadership of myself. There are 3 attributes that any leader should have. These attributes are assertiveness, ambitiousness, and expressiveness. Assertiveness is defined by Webster to be disposed to or characterized by bold or confident declaration. In my opinion, assertiveness is not only that state, it is also a scale that ranges from passivity to aggression. The passive side is defined by people who are like, I don't care, I'll let others make decisions, or I'm just not going to make a decision at all. The aggressive side is defined by people who are so uptight that they will make decisions for themselves and other people, and be premature in those decisions in their desire to get things going. There are different places on the scale that a leader should be depending on his situation. For example, a military leader will be somewhere in here, close to the aggressive side. A corporate leader will be a little bit less aggressive, and then to lead yourself, you should be right in the middle. This way, you'll be able to make decisions for yourself without being premature in those decisions. Ambitiousness is the second attribute. It is defined as having a desire to achieve a particular goal. Ambition, like assertiveness, is a scale. This scale ranges from apathy to extreme ambition. By that I mean someone who has such a strong desire to achieve the goal that they'll do whatever it takes to reach it. Someone who's on the apathetic side, however, has a very different mindset. They are characterized by being lazy, uncaring, and procrastinating.